Zion National Park is one of the most famous in the country, and that's for good reason. Incredible red and white sandstone walls cover this historic and hallowed land, and incredible streams and rivers run through the valleys. Today, I'll be taking you through a visit through this wonderful national park, as we'll be visiting both the main part, along with the Kolob Canyons district. Before we get started, my name is Felix, and if you enjoy this video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe. And now, without any further delay, let's get into Zion National Park. First, I'll be taking you to the Kolob Canyons district of the park. Not as many people visit Kolob Canyons, but that's surprising to me. I would highly recommend anyone to take a trip over here. This area of the park is located just off of Interstate 15, which makes it, in my mind, quite accessible to most visitors. This area typically features a number of creeks, but we visited during an unfortunate drought period, so most of these creeks were completely dried out. A short drive along some of the most incredible red rock formations that you'll ever see takes you to the top of the mountain, where you can reach the Timber Creek overlook. This area provides incredible panoramic views of the entire area, and in my opinion, it's truly a hidden gem in what is a very well-visited park. The next day, after a short night of sleep, we had to wake up really early to get to the entrance of the main section of the park. Because of how popular Zion is, as a visitor you have to make sure that you arrive before 6:30 during the summer months. We arrived somewhere around 6:15 a.m., and there were only a few parking spots available left at our arrival. During the summer months, parking is only available at the visitor center and in the town of Springdale. From there, visitors must take shuttle buses into the actual heart of the park, or as an alternative, they can walk or hike or bike into Zion. Despite our early arrival, we still had to wait about 1.5 hours for the shuttle. And this really wasn't the fault of the park. Shuttles were constantly coming and going. But this does point to a major problem that the National Park Service has to face in the future. The most popular parks have way too many visitors and not enough space. Does that diminish from the NPS and its goal of preserving nature? I don't have the answer to that question, but it's certainly something that they'll have to consider in the future. Eventually, we were able to get onto a shuttle into the actual park. For me, it kind of felt like Disney, the fact that we had to wait in such a long line. The actual shuttle ride took another 30 minutes as we made our way to the last stop of the tram, the Temple of Sinawava. Here you'll find the world-famous Zion Stadium that takes you into the Narrows. The Narrows is an incredibly well-known trail that takes you through the Virgin River Canyon. It's really a once-in-a-lifetime experience as you wade through the waters of the river. At first I was just shocked at how cold the water is. It was June, I thought it was summer, the temperature in the last few days had rounded up to around 100 degrees, but the water was freezing, almost making you want to turn back. But over time, my body and hopefully yours will get used to the temperature, and you'll just want to keep going and explore as much of the canyon as you can. The actual trail upstream allows you to go 4 miles up into the canyon, but in our case we just made it to the grotto alcove area of the trail, which was slightly less than 2 miles upstream. In retrospect, we should have continued a little bit further to reach the world famous Wall Street, but at the time we didn't realize our exact location in the canyon. As you can guess, there's not much service, if any, in the canyon, and the maps weren't really helpful because of how many twists and turns that you went through. There are some parts of the Virgin River where you'll be waist deep in water, and I've heard stories where at times individuals have needed to swim, but most of the time, the water won't be much higher than your knees, and there are plenty of patches of dry land that you can take a break on. Obviously, it's still a trail that you'll want to be careful on. There's a lot of slippery patches, and the current can be pretty raging at times. But overall, if you're in good enough physical shape and are willing to get up early, this is an incredible experience that I would highly recommend that you do. Unfortunately, we didn't have the time to hike up to Angel's Landing, but we were able to get a nice view from below, and we could see the people making their way up towards the point. As many of you probably know, Angel's Landing is an iconic hike as it travels up a very narrow ledgeway with handrails to an incredible view. One day I'll be sure to come back to Zion and do Angel's Landing. For us then, it was time for a quick picnic lunch and then off to the Zion Mount Carmel Highway. This incredible road takes you through the heart of the park with many switchbacks, and then into one of the most impressive 1-mile tunnels. The road has a number of worthwhile pullovers to stop at, which feature unique individual views such as Checkerboard Mesa. These awesome geologic formations give you an up-close look at why the cliffs and mountains of Zion are so special. So that's all from a couple of exciting days in Zion National Park. While I was lucky enough to visit many of the best attractions in the park, I know that there's a wealth of other things that I didn't get to see or experience. For a full tour of the park, I think 3 days is just about the right amount of time that will allow you to properly enjoy everything that Zion has to offer. Also, I would highly suggest visiting in one of the shoulder seasons, as you'll have better weather and less crowds, whereas in the summer, you might be stuck waiting 2 hours in lines every day, which isn't the most pleasant experience. If you've ever been to Zion, let me know about your experience in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe. Also, Zion wasn't the only park that I had the chance to visit in Utah. Videos on Bryce Canyon and the other Mighty 5 will be coming out soon. Until next time, have a great day and thanks for watching.